I have a lesion that is a flat one with some mucus on, and also the border a little bit cloudy. So also according to the WASP classification, this is what to me it can be a serrated lesion. And if I has the artificial intelligence, I'm using a Fujifilm scope. So this is their artificial intelligence that is working under white light and LCI for the detection. And you can see that we have some boxes. So the AI is able to recognize and detect the lesion. And then after all, by just pushing the button of BLI, so the virtual endoscopy, I will be able also to ask my assistant, that will be again the AI, to help me with the characterization. When the pit pattern is open like the 2O according to Kudo, meanwhile here there are some part of adenoma. So this is a mixed lesion of adenoma and serrated polyp. But for the AI, it will be again mixed. But because we have only two subgroups, I'm expecting that it will say that it is mostly hyperplastic. So let's see if I make it correctly. So if you look at the right part of the screen, you can see that everything is yellow and sometimes is green. Yellow is the adenoma, neoplastic, while green is the hyperplastic. And also the machine is recognizing in this phase two different patterns inside this lesion.
We've seen some of the data out there now for lesion, at least adenomatous lesions, that there's a pretty high recurrence rate with a cold snare piecemeal EMR. This morphology is just, it's looking better now. This morphology was looking like it was going to be harder to cut through with the cold snare, but.
So the first thing I'm doing is injecting for a lot of reasons, not only because we are in the cecum and I try to decrease the risk of perforation either with hot or cold, because even with cold we can have perforation, but because it's a serrated, so the margins are not clear, and the injection of the submucosa will help me have a real delineation of the margins, and this is the great point. The second one is that because I'm in the cecum, that is a sort of a valley, if I make the injection, I will have the lesion exposed to me, and I will be more able, let's say in this way, to check for the pattern. So one of the reasons why you are injecting is to expose correctly the lesion. And this is why I was injecting in the, let's say, oral part of the lesion and not in the anal. Otherwise, the lesion will go on the other side far to me and not close to me.
Which setting of the electrosurgical generator do you prefer?
It's an EndoCAT Q2. I'm using a Vaio 3 generator from RB. Open. So also because you know that the first cut with the hot snare, it's very clear, and then you can use the border like in this way, close, start closing, 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 and you can then decide if to go cold, you can close. The Luca that is assisting me is not able to real cut with the snare in a cold fashion. I ask him to open, then I will pull the snare inside my channel, like, you know, to entrap the tissue inside, and I will pull with force to make a real cold resection.